Hey everybody, Portly Paladin back here again with another update. It's going to be another quick one. Again, it's about 7:30 at night on a Thursday night, since I do all these on Thursdays. And I have great news. Fantastic, fabulous, wonderful, love it news. I bought a new car. I bought a 2006 Chevy Impala with 63,000 miles on it. I got a great, fantastic deal. Talked the dealership down almost $5,000 off of the original price and got a really great deal in terms of the payment. Got it right in the sweet spot, right exactly where we wanted it. As a matter of fact, it was about $40 less a month than what we were really planning for. So that worked out great. I no longer have car issues. I was able to give my mom back her car and thank her very much for all of her help in everything that's been going on and letting me get back and forth to my new job. Speaking of the new job, everything's going great there. There's sort of a little bit of a hierarchy there in some ways where, from what I understand from my interview, certain people, everybody gets hired in to do one thing, which is sort of, I guess, the beginner thing. And then as you move on, you get kind of promoted into doing another thing. Well, in my third week of training so far, I have been told that myself and two others were picked to go ahead and do that other thing. So we're kind of being promoted into that other thing. So that's great. That means that I'm going to be working a few more day shifts here, which is also great because I like working in the morning. I'm a fairly decent morning person. And then I'll be starting my new shift going in from 11:30 to 8:30. Now, that's all great news. That's all fantastic. This week, I don't have too much great news in terms of the weight loss. It's not bad. I just didn't change it all. But part of that's probably because, well, several factors. There was a bit of depression going into this week about the car situation. Over the weekend, I helped out my game store owners with a convention in the area. So for 2 days, I kind of didn't have great choices for food since it was sort of a last-minute thing. So I ate some things I probably shouldn't have. Halloween, I mean, it's Halloween. I'm not going to go without having a little bit of candy. So I've had a few pieces. Nothing crazy, nothing outrageous. But there's that. And then, just sort of the whole thing, still trying to get back in the swing of things with this new job. And a little bit of everything else. So all of that added together, I think, kind of contributed to it. But I'm still working at it. I didn't really go crazy or anything. So I'm still on track, I would say. So, for all of you out there that follow this and watch me and pay attention, I'm not worried about it. I'm not down in the dumps about it for once because I think it's just a little slight stumble on my way to getting where I want to be. So it's no big deal. Hopefully next week I'll be able to sit down here and talk to you guys and be under 470 for the first time in many years. I'm really hoping that's going to be the case. And I really feel that that is going to be the case. I don't really think that there's going to be any issues attaining that. So that'll be great, I think. Moving on here, let's talk about a little bit of other things. My wife's doing really well. She's actually at her meeting right now. She should be home any minute. She's looking fantastic. I think she looks gorgeous. She's always looked gorgeous, of course, but now I just think she's looking better than she did. So she's looking even more gorgeous, which is a bonus for me. She's actually doing a really cool thing, which is something I don't think she would have done previously. Here this weekend, she's going to be doing a photo shoot where they're doing pinups, like 50-style pinup shoots. She's got a really nice dress that she picked out, and she's got a whole little outfit and costume thing that she's got working. I don't remember what her scene is. I mean, they have a couple choices. I know they have like a diner, they have a car, and they have like a kitchen. I think she might have picked the kitchen. I really honestly don't remember. Man, I should probably ask her that. I don't know. Anyway, so I think that's really awesome for her because it's, again, something that I don't think she would have done previously before we've been on this diet and losing all this weight. The one thing I do want to mention with this whole thing is, like I said, stress was getting to an absolute utmost there for a while. All these different things that have been piling up on me and really killing me. And this car thing was just sort of like the last straw. because as of Sunday, it looked like, I was going to have to give the car back before the end of this week, whether I had a car or not. So the fact that I do have a car is very helpful, but that thing right there was just really, like I said, the straw that broke the camel's back, and it was really making things very difficult. My stress level was at an all-time high. I am not a kind of person who really has stress, or so I don't really have to deal with it. So when I actually do end up having stress and have to deal with it, it's not a really great thing. So that was hard to deal with. And with working my new job and having a vending machine right there were many, many times when I'd walk by the vending machines and I was very, very, very tempted to not only grab a Mountain Dew, which was my old vice, but also either a candy bar or some cookies or something out of the machine. I think I should be very proud of myself. I did not do either one of those things. The closest I came is something I believe is called Smart Food. It's a brand. I think it's the same brand that makes the popcorn. But they make all these really great snacks that are not. They're like potato chips, but they're not potato chips. They're made out of other things, and they have great flavors. And the one package that I bought out of there was in my vending machine was 35 cents, so I figured it was a great deal. But it was only about 3 points for a bag, and it was a nice little crunchy snack, a little something that kind of tied me over, and it tasted great. It was actually a sweet. It was cinnamon sugar, so it wasn't too many points, which was fantastic, and it kind of killed that sweet tooth that I had going on. Made me feel a little bit better, kind of pushed some of that stress and guilt and everything down, so that was really good. Last thing I want to leave you with before I take off here, because I'm going to have to go back to making dinner, is an idea I had today. It's something that I've actually remembered going on, something that I've seen happen before, and that is flavored popcorn. I'm going to try it as a snack this coming week. I've actually wrote it on the grocery list for my wife to pick up. But what I'm going to try is take popcorn, just make popcorn, not microwave. Although I guess you could do it in microwave, um, because you can buy the natural stuff now that has absolutely nothing on it. I don't really trust that myself, so I'm going to go ahead and pop it myself. And it's a little bit cheaper too to just buy the kernels and pop it in a pot. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to buy like some ranch seasoning mix, sprinkle that on the top. So it has a little bit of that ranch taste, a little savory saltiness. And it's just popcorn. Popcorn is pretty good for you. It's going to be filling because it's popcorn. So I think that's going to be a good sort of in-between snack at work. Because right now the way I do things is I have my breakfast. I take my breakfast to work with me and don't eat it at home. Because I found that when I eat it at home, since I leave here so early, I leave around 6:30 in the morning, that by the time I get home in the evening, around 5:30, that I am just dying. And even I'm hungry already by 9 o'clock, and I have just started work at 9 o'clock and had been at work for a little while. So, excuse me. I just don't think that works really well. So now I take my my breakfast with me to work, and I eat it around 8:15 or so. Start work at 8:30, and then I'm perfectly fine pushing through till 10:30 when it's my break time for having a little snack. I usually have just a small snack. Again, something just to tide me over until lunch, so I don't feel too hungry, don't feel deprived. Um, Nothing much. Maybe a few pretzels, a piece of fruit, or something like that, and then I have my nice sensible lunch, usually around between 10 and 15 points. Go have another little small snack at around 3 p.m. Leave work around 5:30, and I usually will end up having another small snack on my way home, something that's easily munched on while driving. In that case, it's usually some pretzels, and then when I get home, we eat right around 6 o'clock or so. Like I've mentioned before, we do our protein and carb early, and then again around 7:30 to 8 o'clock we have a vegetable to kind of again space things out a little bit. I'm not doing that because I think it promotes any sort of metabolism. I don't know if that's true. I've heard both ways. but I do it just because it makes me feel better about myself. I don't feel hungry, and I don't have the urge to eat something bad when I know that I'm going to eat something again soon, especially in the evenings. I have really bad temptations in the evenings to have something I shouldn't have, but knowing that around 8 o'clock I'm going to have something to eat, in this case it would be vegetables, and then I'm not going to have that nagging feeling to go get something that I shouldn't be eating. So that's why I do it. But do it if you want to. Do it if you don't. I'm not saying that's part of the diet. Uh, I like it. I'm not saying it's even helping me. Well, I know it's helping me, but not helping me in terms of losing weight. It's just helping me feel better about being on this diet, on this plan. Which, by the way, I don't really call it a diet. I don't feel like it's a diet. I think it's a lifestyle change. I think at some point, I think I'm going to always sort of be doing Weight Watchers, just not as actively counting points as I do now. I think I will just keep it as a rough gauge once I get to a certain point. I don't really know what my goal is right now. It's something that I know that everybody should have in their mind. I know that I definitely want to get below 300. Um, I think at my size, 225 wouldn't be horrible. I know probably most of the gauges out there and everything say that it is horrible. The 225 would be too much for someone that's 5'8", but I think that's a decent goal for me. But I don't really know. I'm going to have to wait until I get there and see how I feel. Once I get to a place where I feel good and I feel like I can do the things that I want to do, that's going to be my goal. That abstract thought is really my goal rather than a number. So we'll have to just wait and see what that's going to be. It could be 225. It could be 185. It could be 175. I don't know. We'll have to wait until we get there. And I will get there. I don't have any doubt of that anymore. I used to have a lot of doubts of that. But I know that if I just keep doing what I'm doing, it might take a while. I mean, at this point, I think I'm averaging about a pound a week. So I'm only averaging maybe 48 pounds a year at this stage. But once I get to the point where I can feel more comfortable being more active and doing more exercise, actual exercise rather than just the little like sort of walking and other things that most people take for granted that I haven't been able to take for granted for years. Um, Once I'm able to do more than that, then I think that it's going to be easier for me, and I'm going to start dialing those pounds up a little bit more. But right now, I'm fine with only losing a pound a week, maybe a pound and a half, 2 pounds a week, whatever it is. Um, so maybe in 3 years, I'll be where I want to be. But 3 years is fine with me, as long as every day I feel better than the day before, and that I feel like I'm still doing a good job. I'm happy with what I'm doing. So that's it. That's pretty much what I wanted to talk about today. If you have any questions about anything, again, please email me, theportlypaladin@gmail.com, or just comment down below and ask. If you just have any comments in general, do the same thing. If you just want to say good job, I definitely appreciate that. So go ahead and do that if you feel like it. But until next time, keep waging the war against your waistline. That sounded horrible. So until next time, keep waging the war against your waistline. I am your portly paladin. We'll see you next time.